Just hit live.
Yeah,
It's
it
all
does.
good.
Okay, now we're live. Okay, great. Thanks. All right, welcome back.
We're live. Late. Okay.
Hey, no Brett.
We
That's all right.
when you were trying to assemble the Avengers, there's going to be some hiccups. Brett was the first one there, and then he just disappeared. We actually don't know where Brett is. He's going to be here. He was here, and we don't know where he is. He is late on his own
He's gonna
show.
be late.
On his own show. All right, well, good to see you guys. Gang is back. Looking forward to seeing Are you racing this?
I'm racing
this weekend?
Sunday. I've swum 1,200 meters in the last 8 days, and I'm racing on Sunday. Good.
Well,
What
if
do you
you're
got on
doing
Sunday,
400
Sonny?
max, you know.
53, 100 free, and 100 breast.
Boom.
Yeah, I do breaststroke
3
now.
from 3.
Yeah, on the Gloucester.
Taking some tips from Shaban, I hope.
No, she's too good at breaststroke. I don't listen to people that are too good. I need someone who's just a little bit better than me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't run before you can walk, you know?
What is
Too
this like
funny.
freestyler breaststroke combo? I've never seen it before, and now we're seeing it more and more. It's weird. I like
Yeah,
it.
some people have been good at it. Roland was always really good at it.
Yeah.
That's just power, though.
Sonny's gonna be good at it.
You're right.
Sonny's not good at much. I've heard rumors on the grapevine that Nate is racing at US Masters Nationals.
Yes, I am. First time ever. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, sheesh.
I got my shoulder back intact. I got a slap tear last summer, and I rehabbed the whole thing back to health, no surgery. And I'm swimming pretty fast. Like I've been pushing like 107s course meters.
Oh, short as
I
meters.
think-
That's legit.
Yeah, I mean it's faster than I've been in like a long time. You know, I'm 40 this month.
Hey, you're
It's
killing
it's
it.
only a number.
Yep.
That means you're racing in the 40-plus category.
Yeah, I'm swimming the 500.
Oh, mate, I'm going to cheer you on so loud. You're going to hear me every stroke for 500, then my voice is gone.
500
I get so into it.
500 breaststroke.
No.
Wow, you're hearing the rumors. There's already scandals going on about Nate.
The TMZ did. They don't test at Masters meet, so it's all good.
It's encouraged.
Actually, you're swimming at U.S. Masters Nationals also. So
can't
is
wait.
Sonny's dad,
So is my dad.
Stop
the
it.
egg.
Mr. Trigg,
Mr. Trigg.
That's pretty
swimsuit
cool.
guy.
Swimsuit guy senior. He's racing.
Kurt,
convince
we're
Brett that
dragging
he's-
the chain here. We're so dragging the chain.
Where are you coming from today, Megsy?
I am in Baku, Azerbaijan. Today?
Where are you? Are you in France yet?
No, I'm in New York City, but this could be the last one. This could be the last one. I'm off to Paris tomorrow, just to sort out my life, really, where I'm living. Get sorted in the Marais with all the hipsters, and then
You're moving at the perfect time.
Yeah, and then back. I'll be back here for a week, and then here comes Brett now. And then I'll be in Paris from next month, and got
The
European
build-up.
aquatics going full strength. I'm in Italy next weekend. We've got our first stop on the European Aquatics Open Water Cup in Piombino in Italy. So 10Ks, some big fields coming too. It's pretty pretty classy as Brett joins us, but I'll quickly give you a rundown. But we've got Leonie Beck, obviously a current world champ from Fukuoka. Anna Marcela Cunha, the Olympic champ from Tokyo, is going to be there, the Brazilian. I think this is the one thing Euros is doing really well now. It's not just the Europeans. They're like, you don't have to be from Europe. Come, we want you to come and race. Greg Paltrinieri's obviously going to put on a show there for the man.
Nice.
And then got Clement there, the German. He was, third in Fukuoka. Pretty good fields. And so it's I think we've got a 5-leg tour. We've got 2 legs before the Olympics and then 3 legs after it. So, yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in for European Aquatics. And obviously we've got European Championships next month in Serbia as well, in Belgrade.
We got boots on the ground in Paris for the lead up to the Olympics here. Look at that.
I'm going to be your new European correspondent.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
you got the hair.
Yeah, I got the guns.
Wow. Already.
Brett, welcome back, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was here, and then all of a sudden my camera had a meltdown, and I'm back. But yeah, you guys, have we started talking about John yet?
Not
I
yet.
haven't, but I think
Mm.
you just started it.
Yeah, we had planned this for a while to put this show on today, and then woke up to the news this morning that John Urbanchek had passed away, which is just devastating for the swimming world. I mean, massive impact he's had on everybody. Every single person in swimming has been impacted by John Urbanchek because of his methodologies, because of his impact on U.S. swimming, because of his impact on all the people that he coached, and anyone that ever met John. He gave you time. He was just one of those guys that gave you time. Nate, did you meet him?
No, actually, I never got to meet him. Unfortunately, we did do with last year with Aska. We brought one of his talks back. It was from like the early '90s. It must have been the year that they won. Michigan won the national title. If you haven't listened to that, we'll put it back out today or tomorrow or something, because it's amazing. It's just it's a phenomenal talk. He talks all about how how he got into the energy systems and how he created the energy systems and
The color
why
system.
the colors are the colors, and talks a lot about threshold training is what he talks a lot about. He felt like his secret was he did more threshold training than anybody else.
Mm. Yeah, and he had a lot of success doing it. Yeah, he was a good man. What about you guys? Did any of you guys ever meet John?
When during lockdown, we had like live chats with a lot of coaches. I was very young then, and I think we might have had one with you, Brett. But like we done there's like 30 young coaches, and he done like a talk with us for like 2-3 hours. It was insane. Learned so much. Brilliant mind. And I feel like I used a color system that I took from Tom, but obviously the first color system was John. So like everyone who uses the color system, there's loads out there now, all derived in some way from John.
Yeah. And to go even further, I don't know the specific background of it, but I know that John's wife was actually the brains behind it.
Melanie was a doctor. She was a doctor and there as well. So I think it was from an Australian version. It's that kind of Don Talbot-esque, like he went to eight Olympics starting in '88, and that experience, and like you said, what he did at Michigan, over 2 decades there at Michigan, and he studied at Michigan before then as well, didn't he? As well, and Coach Salo, and that color system is just so ahead of its time. But the fact that they still use it today is a testament.
So many people,
how incredible it was.
Yeah, I actually did an interview with Ray Lewis the other day for the College Swimming Association, and we did a live interview, and one of the things he said he wanted to talk about was the fact that he used John Urbanchek's color system still at Indiana. Yeah, so it's used extensively. But he's just a good man. I mean, he's the best bullshitter of all time. Like he just had the best. He had the best jokes. He was just a funny dude. And I was always on the Australian team when I met him for the first time, and he just treated you so well. Like he just treated you like we're all in this together. It wasn't like, I mean, he definitely would, do anything he could to get US on top, but he wasn't the man to put you down to make that happen.
He always seemed like he was smiling, positive. He's a positive guy.
Oh yeah.
That's why I remember meeting him at the 2008 Olympics. And he was so welcoming. And I was chatting to Bowley, and he came over and introduced himself. And I didn't really know too much about him. Obviously, at that time, I had no idea. And then every year after that on pool deck, he'd always say hello. He'd always come up and say, "How you doing?" Like if you needed anything, he was like always there, which no one else from any other country would make you feel like that welcome. And he would joke around. He's like, "I hope you go well," but obviously not as well as the US backstrokers. I was like, cheeky, cheeky, but always had time for you, which I felt really like a lot of respect in that way. So that was I was never really forget how he kind of makes you feel, which is really nice.
Relationships is king of relationships, just like we heard from Jack Bowerly a couple weeks ago on the pod. You know, it's the same exact thing, right? Just willing to talk to people on the deck that they're not your swimmers, but everyone knows that person, you know.
Yeah. He's a good man.
Lovely
A lot of coaches are hurting this morning from his loss, you know. And I got a chance to talk to him and his wife on the phone a couple of months ago, and you know, we have all of his workouts, Nate. So we have every workout that John has ever written since the 1950s. So maybe over time we'll be able to, in his honor, release a couple of those or do something with those. But you know, we were talking to him and his wife about. Well, I was talking to him and his wife about, you know, what we wanted to do with those workouts, how we could honor him. So now we have to dig deeper on that one.
Absolutely. How have you got these workouts? They on a drive? They in like notebooks? Like
I think someone close to him, I guess someone that swam with him, took pictures of every single page of every single notebook and put them all in there and categorized them all.
Wow.
I mean, I think it dates back to 1964.
Wow.
No, I think it's 58. I swear there's some 50s.
It was a lot, dude.
Yeah.
There's so much information in those books. It's like
what are the workouts like from like 1958? What was he writing back then?
I don't know. We'll have to release a few.
Good point. We'll have to get some out.
I want to know what people were doing in the 50s. What sessions they were doing.
Yeah.
It actually wasn't that different. It will surprise the hell out of you.
Like everyone who invented something along the way, and he's doing it in 1958. You watch, you know, bit of race pace, parachute, there's a little bit of stretch cord in there. He's doing it all. Bit of
he had the drag socks on. Yeah, the drag socks.
800 threshold of socks.
It's actually, you know, if you took the date away, it would scare you how similar it is. You know, if you just put your hand over it and thought, oh my God, this was 10, 20 years ago, you know, so crazy.
We'll pull a couple up for you, Sonny.
Paddles are square. That's the only difference. It's true. Paddles were square.
They were square, yeah.
I bet Nate's got some square paddles somewhere. You're a square paddle guy.
Nah, hell no.
You're a square.
Nah, I'm a stroke maker guy.
Oh, they're the best.
They're the best.
Big ones. Big old.
I just use the reds. I'm a red. Man, we pulled so much in high school, we'd crack even the stroke makers right down on your fingers, you know?
Just edit that up. Tell us all about how much you pulled in high school.
Wow.
Hang on one second.
Kurt's gone. Kurt's dropped the mic. He's gone.
Kurt dropped the mic.
Just gone boom.
I wonder why you have shoulder injuries, Nate. All this pulling.
See, no, I don't pull that much anymore now. I just swim a lot now.
Kurt, he doesn't pull anymore, apparently. Since he's been married, he barely pulls.
Oh, those are the worst.
Wrong.
Stop it.
Kurt who's the square paddle guy.
He's a square original paddle.
Bro, this has been
a rectangle,
so retro.
Yeah.
20 years, I think. Still got
That
him.
is so retro.
21.
And I still got my pool boy.
Look at that thing. That's not it.
Yes.
I love you.
Wow.
Had cool.
I love you.
The best.
All right, what do you guys want to talk about first? We were talking about Kristof Milak.
Yes, I want to go straight into Milak. I love talking about Kristof Milak.
Me too. All right, go ahead, Sonny. Why don't you lead it off here?
Well, apparently he's turned up to like 2 of the last 38 training sessions since his nationals. So he went like really legit times, 48 low, 50 point, 100 fly. I think he went a PB 53, like a little 21 point. Like he does 53 now, 200 fly, 53. Does it all. Real good swimmer. And allegedly, in the 38 sessions he could have attended since that meet, he's been to 2. I just love it. What a storyline.
Yeah, he actually posted something today on Instagram, a sponsor, you know, about some goggles or something. And I was going to put underneath, like, they're really good for practice.
There he is. I bet you he turned up to the pool.
Practice to use them.
They shot this video, and that was his entire session. He done 3 strokes fly, climbed out, and was like, "Good stuff."
Yeah, we'll see you in 3 weeks.
Fake news. Fake news.
No, I've heard this from day one. I had a few mates who were on a training camp in Thanyapura about 2 years ago, and he was there with the Hungarian team or his coach. And apparently he would like sunbathe, dip his toes in, sunbathe, play some tennis. Then I had a swimmer of mine actually went and trained after Budapest Worlds in 2022, went and trained with him in Hungary. And I say with him, but trained with his squad, but then like didn't see him for 3 weeks. He was there for 3 weeks, this swimmer. Didn't see him for 3 weeks. And then literally a week later, he went to Europeans and went 151.3 or something, 2 fly. So I've heard this at time and time again. Maybe he just trains somewhere else. Maybe he just doesn't turn up to practice. Maybe he's got a little underground pool, goes and does a few 2 flies there. I don't know. Oh, spit on me, guys. Come on. Whoa.
Whoa. Who's running the show?
Mate, he's in his Hungarian hyper sleep pod. That's where he is. He's just unraveling from that for those interstellar fans. No, this is a larger problem, and we can talk about SwimSwam in a minute and where they get their info from. But this is tabloid garbage from Hungary, and there's got to be some questions asked about where do you draw the line when you SwimSwam? And I saw it on. Or Cody Miller had that great question on his YouTube show the other day, and it's a fair question to ask: is SwimSwam ruining swimming? And their reporting. And I preface this as well. I'll be the first to say, like, SwimSwam is the #1 news site for swimming, love it or hate it, on planet Earth. It is where everyone goes for their news. It's a daily thing. Mel has done an incredible job building it up from where it was. We all know, everybody knows. You know it, I know it, the world knows it. The comment section is as toxic as anything there is on the internet and to be avoided at all costs for most people. But when you have those resources and when you're the #1 resource for swimming news, that has to come with the responsibility of what do you just publish everything that you hear? My friends, my aunties, uncles, brothers, sister saw someone that looked like Milak at a Brisbane Broncos game. And does that mean that he's training with Dean Boxall at St. Peter's in secret? And then we're going to print that story? Or on a more heavy scale? And how deep can we go here with that printing that Chinese women's 4x2 relay team had been stripped of their gold medal when they hadn't, and that, USADA had contacted US members of that 4x2 silver medal winning team and saying that they were going to be handed the gold medal, and then running with that story that was bullshit, not true, and then retracted it. There's got to be some responsibility there. At some point, Braden has to step back and be like, what do we want SwimSwam to be? Do we want it to be, the PBS kind of news where people can rely on it? Or are we going to print garbage and we're going to make it the Breitbart or the InfoWars of the swimming world? And they can do what they want because it's their prerogative and we're in the eyeball economy. And that's all good and well. But there are consequences to doing that. And when you get someone like the New York Post picking up the story that the Chinese are going to be stripped of the 4x2 gold, they run with that. They print that because they don't know anything about swimming, especially in an Olympic year. 99.999% of the planet cares about swimming for 9 days every 4 years. They need to rely on the likes of SwimSwam to give them guidance. And where you get your news is so important, and the truth matters. And I just think SwimSwam sometimes now, they've just got to be more careful. You don't have to print every single thing. And it's the same with the story about the Russian swimmers swimming in some, nothing burger meat there in Bosnia and Herzegovina the other day and wearing their Russian colors. And that's, a big disaster. That's a nothing story. It's a nothing burger story. It's nothing. It's nothing. Why are you even printing that stuff? I don't even know. And the same with the gutter journalism that they pulled off News Limited, saying that international swimmers are getting offered financial incentives to race at the World Cups in China. They've been offering financial incentives for swimmers to race at the World Cups for the last 25 years. Nothing new. Like, be better. I think be better.
Oh, what happened to Nate? Where'd he go?
Nate got fired up by that talk.
Nate got fired up and left the building. Oh, what happened to mate? No, it's okay. Sonny, you got any comments here, or that's it? Leave it.
I just loved. I'm leaving it, but I loved the idea that Boxall's just absolutely working Milak, and Milak's just doing the dirtiest sets out there with Boxall, and Boxall's just like whipping him into shape, and he's going to go like 147 2 fly. I love that concept, but I actually think he just doesn't train, and he's like he knows he's so much better than everyone. He doesn't need to train. I love that as well. How confident do you have to be to not even bother training for 2 fly?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Megs, what do you think? You're in and out there. You good? Where's Megs?
Yeah, I'm good. Yep, I'm here.
Oh,
Can you see me?
She's back.
Can you hear me?
Kind of, yeah. You need to get close to that mic. It's a little far from your face. Yeah, there we go.
Just get up and yeah.
So, look, Kurt, I've been preaching this for years. You know, there's no accountability, so who cares? You know, like none of the coaches hold them accountable. None of the swimmers hold them accountable. None of their peers in the world of journalism hold them accountable. So, like, what's the point? Like, I can scream up and down all day long. I just look like a hater because I'm on the other side of it. So it's like, oh, he's just a hater or whatever it is. I'm not a hater. I just want it to be done right, and it doesn't seem to be done that way. So,
but they love swimming. Like Coleman does a great job. He's passionate. He loves swimming. I know Braden loves it. Obviously, Mel is very passionate. But you want to do real journalism, like Travis Tygart. You stick him up on this pedestal of what a hero he is for USADA, and he's going to pull out WADA and all that.
But how do you know they want to do real journalism? Did you ask Mel?
No, I'm just asking if they want to do real journalism. Who's making these phone calls to these 4x2 kids in the US? Have we figured that out? It came from USADA. Who have we chased that story up?
Kurt, the problem is you come from a father and a family that does real journalism, so you're upset about this. They don't. They don't care. Like, when did they ever tell you that they wanted to do journalism like your dad, where it's actually respected and you know, people hold them up in the highest regard? They don't. It's just trash. You know, like that's where they're at. And isn't that what we know? Like, isn't that what they're proud of?
I think it hurts the sport and it hurts the good work that they do as well. But
absolutely hurts the sport, you know, like it hurts the sport. But like you said, they are the biggest in the world. They're the absolute biggest in the world. They dominate. The whole world looks at them, and there's no accountability, and everybody's happy with it. You know, every coach still goes on there and talks to them. Every swimmer still goes on there and talks to them, and everybody's cool with it. Like the fact that they sit in the comment section and decide which comment goes through and which comment doesn't. And they let all the poison through and they let all their favorites, you know, get looked after. And anybody that they don't like doesn't get looked after and gets hammered, destroyed. And some comments go in, some comments that go out. Like, it's not just a free for all on the comment section. You know that, right? If you put a comment in there and they don't like you, or they don't like, you know, they'll either let it in or let it out. It's all managed. You know, like it's a complete managed site, and they're managing to destroy the people they want to destroy, and they're managing to uplift the people they want to uplift. And they look after their sponsors and they crush everybody else. When was the last time they did a story on us where we actually talk about real world things? You know, and they never do. So it's like it's not a site for journalism and news. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a site for eyeballs.
Yeah, and also exactly. The Western.
And that's okay. And guess what? People make mistakes.
Yeah, but the Western bias in this, obviously, it's US based, it's US driven. I think we just need to stop. And Hafnawi is a great example of this as well. Is we need to understand the privilege that Western swimmers have when you're from the US or you're from Australia. When you're from Russia, you're like, what does that war have to do with Chikhanova? What does it have to do with Klim? Nothing. But they don't get to swim in Paris. And the same with the Chinese swimmers. What does Yufei, what does she know about, you know, TMZ? Nothing. She's part of a system, you know, she's part of a system. You have to look at these things from outside the square, and you can't just be charging like anti-Russia, anti-China on this thing. And the
But
same
you
with
can. Like, that's the thing. You don't like it, but you can.
well,
They
just
do it,
doesn't-
and they get away with it.
And
Like,
the
no
same
one
with
holds them
Hafnaoui.
accountable.
Like if Hafnaoui was Australian or American, he'd have no problem, obviously, getting a visa to come to the US and train either as a student or a pro or whatever. Now he got caught in no man's land, and and now we're not going to get the defending Olympic champion there in Paris. Well, it looks like anyway. So I think we just need to take a bit of a step back sometimes and check out Western privilege and how lucky we are to be able to have the freedom to train in the programs and have the facilities and the finances, to do what we can do.
But your dad is an honest journalist who does his research and is respected worldwide. He doesn't get the clicks they do. They get clicks. So they're winning in this world of clicks and views. And they're beating a guy like your dad, who is the, top 3 most respected swimming journalist in history, your dad, and they're winning on the clicks and views because they don't care. And that's like, so why do we have a problem with it? Because no one else has a problem with it. All the coaches go on there and talk to them. All the swimmers talk to them. So it's like nobody's holding them accountable to it. They're just going to continue doing it. So Cody Miller gets on there and says, "Oh, I don't really like it, but they're amazing." And it's like, it's the same thing that everybody says. "Oh, I don't like it, but whatever," and it's the way that swimming's like that, right? Like swimming did the same thing with the Chinese drug story. "Oh, I don't like it, but what can I do about it?" Yeah, nothing really. Yeah, let's just let it pass. 23 swimmers just tested positive. They swam at the Olympics. It sucks, but what am I going to do about it? That's the swimming world, right? The swimming world is just a bunch of pussies, really, and it's sad that we just let that crap go on,
Nothing's like that's gone. That's like old news now. Like everyone's moved on from that. Like to be fair, like 4 or 5 British swimmers, GB swimmers like Jimmy Guy and P, they said their bit about it. Beyond that, nothing's done. Not like everyone put out their blanket statement. No one's taken any action, and that's done.
No.
Them Chinese swimmers, them same ones, will be at the next Olympics swimming and winning medals, and that's it. We might
that's
get
the swimming world. That's my point. Is like we just let it slide, And I'm with Kurt 100%. I wish it was not like that, but that's the way it is because no one cares and no one holds them accountable. So you put up a story that makes no sense that says, "Oh, the Chinese swimmers are being stripped of their gold medals and we're going to give it to the US swimmers," and they've been informed, which is just complete bullshit, absolute complete bullshit. But we're going to run with that story, and then we retract it and we say, "Oh well, got that wrong. Let's move on to the next story and see if we can get that one right or wrong. Doesn't really matter, It's just nonsense, isn't it?
It's just implications. But like you said, when we're in it's all about views. I want to continue with the drugs as well with the Chinese team. And obviously, China's not going to be banned from the Olympics. They're coming. The implications, the second and third order impacts from the cover-up and the inaction of WADA and World Aquatics, the implications that's going to have in Paris, because that's when it's going to come back up when and if this Chinese team has some great success, which they probably will.
Oh, I can hear Rowdy now. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's going to be the number one thing that's going to be talked about at Olympic trial. I mean, the whole thing. So I don't think it's going to go
No, I don't
away.
think it is. I don't think it's going to be talked about. I think it's going to be completely avoided.
No, it is there. So. No,
yeah,
in Paris,
it's
on. Like, and these are the implications that they have to think about now. Kin beats Petey in the 100 breaststroke by 1/100th and costs Petey going 3 straight.
3 Petey.
Like the 3 Petey. How many people have done a 3 Petey?
Nobody.
Like Phelps has done it. He's the only dude to have done it. And then Dawn, Egazeki, and Ledecky? Like, for that to cost. And then Chin beats Leon and Zach in the 200 breaststroke. Do you know this French crowd? Have you seen, they had, they're super intelligent. They're dialed in. They know it, and they are super vocal. They will, if China wins and these athletes win, and this is nothing against the athletes because this goes right to the top. This is the Chinese Communist Party stuff flowing down through Chinada, flowing into WADA, where their vice president is, I think it's Yang, who's she's a member of the political party and obviously former Olympian herself. Like, it goes deep as deep as deep. But when they win, they're going to boo the anthems. They're going to boo the athletes. There's going to be can you imagine if he beats Leon, and then that costs them, they break the world record in the mixed medley relay. It's going to be hectic. One thing that I wanted to say as well, and I feel for Pan as well, because Pan wasn't part of the 23. Pan wins the 100 free, and he's going to get pumped anyway by association, even though he's never failed a thing in his life. I find that stings is just as bad as well. That hurts.
Yeah, but listen, look, if we are saying that it's state-run, sponsored, systematic doping, and 23 athletes got busted, do you think all of a sudden it just disappeared? Is that what you're saying?
No, all I'm saying is that it doesn't matter. China, if you're Chinese.
Yeah, but if it's state-run and everybody and they're doping 23 people, you think they left a couple out? Like, really? Is that what we're saying here? Like,
I'm saying,
hey, those guys
Pan
that didn't test positive, we'll let them off.
Okay, but say Pan wins the 100, he breaks the world record, he becomes the Olympic champ. Does he deserve to get booed? Should they boo him?
Yes, because it's either state-run or it's not. Is it state-run? And they've said, no, it was accidental in the kitchen. Someone sprayed some stuff on the fry pan. Like, or it is, and everybody's in on it. So, yes, you either boo them all because it's all state-run. And, look, I'm not blaming the athletes. I've said that publicly. I don't think the athletes have a clue. But it's either state-run or it's not. So which one are we going with? Everybody's on it or they're not on it.
I feel like you said, I feel for the athletes. Because you see this Chinese team that such an incredible team. We saw it at World Champs.
But you have to make a stand. You have to make a stand here. You have to say, I am against all of them because they're all on it, because it's all state-run, or I'm for them all. None of them are on it, and it was a mistake in the kitchen, and we can move on from it. So you got to be down the middle. It's not this only 23 tested positive and there's a couple that didn't, and here it's either they're all on it or they're not. That's what it comes down to. Seriously.
Yeah. Do you completely, but like you're a swimmer, you go to Paris, you're not going to talk to your Faye now because you're going to bar her, you're not going to say hi, you're not going to.
No, I've gone of the opinion. I'm swayed the other way now. I'm of the opinion that it was a mistake in the kitchen and it's not state run and everybody's clean. That's what I'm going with. Because if I don't, listen to this, if I don't,
based on what?
I'm going to have hatred. I'm going to have anger. I'm going to be pissed off, and I'm going to want every single one of them to be booed. I'm going to want all the coaches to be fired. I'm going to want the Chinese team to be banned if I go the other way. So I have to then now take a stand like this was a mistake in the kitchen. They're right. I agree with WADA. Because otherwise I got hatred, don't you think?
This is what everyone does, though. Everyone always just accepts innocence. Anything that's like slightly unsettling or too good to be true, we just turn a blind eye. Otherwise, we'll hate everything. Like if we do accept this as an entire nation is cheating, then it will spoil the whole Olympics. So it's easier to go in with like this.
Right.
Everything's great. Let's just enjoy people racing and going world records. And great job, another world record, another victory. Otherwise, it will spoil the whole thing. Like it leaves.
You'll be angry. You'll be angry.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be really, really angry. And you'll hate the coaches that are over there. You'll be pissed off for everything they've done. You'll be cynical and just like have this just like disdain for this team that has been systematically cheating. Or you have to say, like WADA wants us to believe, it was a mistake in the kitchen. Everybody get over it. It was a one-off, accidental. Okay, let's move on. And just celebrate the Chinese for what they're doing. Which one are we going to be? Because I'm not on the side of Pan wasn't in it. Pan's either in it or he's not. You know what I mean? That,
I
like,
don't think he
You're either
knows.
Chinese or you're not.
No, no.
you're either in the system or you're not. Which one
3
is it?
years
Well,
ago,
they
Pam
weren't
was
picking
like-
and choosing.
Ham was 10 years old when this happened, but they're still doing it now, and he'll be in the system now. Like the system's been going on forever. But I also don't think China's the only system in the world doing something. There's other countries, some of them very close to home, that are doing things that are grey areas in sport. Whether or not they're fully illegal, they're grey areas. And to be honest, this is only a grey area. At the end of the day, the World Anti-Doping said what they done was fine. So therefore, they were not guilty of anything, because they've been deemed non-guilty. If you're deemed non-guilty in a court of law, then it doesn't matter what if someone saw you do the action, you're not guilty. They weren't guilty, and that's the bottom line. And there's other countries doing TUEs through their eyeballs because they have a doctor signing them off and stamping them and patting them on the back, going, "Yeah, get a little bit of this cortisone in your shoulder 6 times a week before the freaking World Championships," and then my shoulder's falling off, but I just pummeled a world record.
Oh,
come on!
Don't go there with the therapeutic use exemptions,
but
because
it's the
that
same
is
thing.
just the end of. That is just a hole that you will never get out of.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I don't want to get into it. I'm just saying China weren't guilty, so we have to accept what they are.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. I'm on the side of I'm happy they're all racing now, because I have to accept what White has said, because I can't go in the other way. I can't be angry. I can't be pissed. I just can't go into the Olympics like that.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. Like, if Wang beats Leon in the 200 medley,
Then
by
it's legit.
this much,
Then it's
It
legit.
doesn't matter.
they're gonna tear the joint to shreds. It is gonna be.
Yeah, but how are you going to feel about it? How are you going to feel? What side are you on?
It stings me. It stings me bad because it hurts the sport. I can't get my head around it. I look back. You look back through the Olympics. You look back through the champs. You see, obviously, the East Germans in the late 70s. You come through. You look like, how do you look at Michelle Smith? Like, still has it. Well, even like closer to home. And I said this to on Cody Miller's comments as well. And he's like, China had. He's got all this in place, and sure, it looks like they do, of course, but like, what about the US? Like, what about Carl Lewis? You got thoughts on Carl Lewis?
Yeah, he's clean.
Like,
because nobody's doing anything about it. So what am I going to? What am I going to be angry
Carl
at
Lewis
everybody?
is a cheat. He's a cheat. He's and the US Olympic Committee covered it up, and this is why USADA was invented in the first place in 2000, to get some transparency, to get away and to try and clean up the sport that, was just as bad in the US as it's been in China as well, and Russia as well. So, don't throw stones in glass houses as the US sits on top of the world, like thinking they're incredible and they've never done anything wrong.
Why don't we just call it the enhanced games then? Why don't we just go with that?
Well, this is what starts. This is what gives credence to something like this, and it's so sad, and it's at the end of the day, it's set the sport back. We said what was the darkest modern era for swimming, and that was that 94 World Champs in Rome, where China were just insane. They won 11 out of 13 individual women's events. They're all jacked up. The women that were going for drug tests weren't the same women that were winning the races, weren't the same women that were going to the podiums. And
let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Let me get an opinion from Megs, right? Let's go with Megs, because she's been quiet over there with that microphone. Let me ask you this.
I'm having trouble with my internet, so I don't know if you can guys see.
Let me ask you this. You're swimming the 200 back at the Olympics, and you know that there's a Chinese girl in your heat who was part of the 23andMe, and she lines up next to you. Are you angry that she's a drug cheat, or are you thinking, I am just here to race at the Olympics? Like, how do you justify it in your mind at that point?
I think you have to realize like what you're doing it. Like, you're doing it for yourself first, obviously. But I think also corruption goes far and beyond what you can think you can do anyway. As in, like, it doesn't really matter, because it's so corrupt and so high up that even if you get angry about it, even if you have an opinion, it doesn't matter. It's not going to do anything. So, like, you can believe, you can have an opinion, but it's not I just think it's just really hard. I feel I just want a very clean sport, but it never probably will be. And I feel like the Chinese will always be tainted with history. But for me, I don't know, like you said, you kind of, it's hard. Like you want to have a clean sport, but is it ever going to be clean? Is it ever going to be clean of TUEs? Is it, no, it's never going to be. But so what can you do? You can boycott, you can do a Mac Horton and not shake hands and everything like that. But at the end of the day, Sun Yang still got a gold medal, still beat you.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to accept. I feel like you have to accept it, but deep down that they're probably not clean. But what do you do? As in, it's such a corrupt system. So how far up can you go before something, it doesn't really do much, does it? Like
I think everybody, I agree with you there. Like the deep down thing, right? Like I think everybody deep down realizes that there wasn't an accident in the kitchen. I think everybody realizes that, right? Like, come on,
think,
like,
Megs,
no one's buying that.
Thing I've ever
Do you
heard.
think the athletes have the foresight and the intelligence enough to know that this is not it's not an athlete thing, it's not an individual thing? Do you think they have that? They're going to come to pull it and they're not going to hold it against them?
Because as an athlete, you purely and you guys would know as well, like you purely want to see how far you can go as an athlete, how far you can push yourself mentally, physically. And if you do take drugs knowing that, then it's not really, you can go to the Olympics and go, oh yeah, well that's maybe because I was taking drugs or whatever. So, but I would guarantee most of the athletes probably want to do it for the most pure part of the sport. I can't say everyone wants to do that, but I think as an athlete, that's what you want to see. And hopefully, the only way it's going to work is if it's a boycott, but everyone, you have to be all in or you have to be all out. There's no, but you'll never get everyone in to boycott. So what do you do? People are still going to go to the Olympics. People are still going to win gold medals, whether they've tested positive or not for China. What do you do?
What about you, Sonny?
Would you say hi to Yufei? Would you say hi to Yufei and give her a kiss and a hug if you saw her at Paris, if you were friends prior, or would you just completely bar her?
That's hard. I'm too freaking nice.
I'm not freaking nice, but it depends.
Well, how about you, Sonny? Do you hold it against?
I wouldn't.
Did you hold it against Yufei, or do you hold it against the Chinese Communist Party? And
yeah, I'd say hi, but I don't. I feel like it goes beyond Yufei.
Absolutely. I have to stand on Brett's side because I know. As I said, way more stories than just this Chinese thing. And if I acted on all of these things, I wouldn't have many friends. So I'm on Brett's side. You got, some things slide. I think
Sonny knows about the TUE, abuse. Sonny knows about, the fact that he's not really buying the Chinese kitchen story. Like we know all these things, and it's not just this one incident. It's like we hear all this stuff, right? And so at some point you just got to say, I can't deal with all, I can't have all that in me. That's too much angst. It's too much anger. It's too much, I can't carry all that. That should be on the shoulders of the people that are running the show. That should be on their shoulders, and it's clearly not. So then you just have to go in and say, well, I'm going in and I'm going to give it my best. I swam in the final in Athens. I can't tell you everybody was completely clean. I don't know. But I went in there with the mindset that, hey, we're all equal here and the best man's going to win. And that's the attitude I went in with. And I think that's the attitude that the swimmers and the coaches have to go in. Because if you walk around that pool deck and you're angry, man, I'd want to punch someone, and you just can't do that at the Olympic Games.
You can't go around punching people, Brett.
The penny drops when say Yufei wins, Pan wins, Dragon wins, Wang wins. Then what? You just accept it?
I celebrate it. Yeah,
they're going to win.
Cheering.
Well, what are you going to say on the live show? And are you going to be like, I like Zhang, so Yufei, I like her. She's cute. We'll give her a pass. But Wang Shan, I don't like the look of him. Where are we going here? They're going to win races.
Yeah. I'm celebrating it.
I wouldn't celebrate.
As Sonny said, there's abusive TUEs. I can't tell you all the abusive TUEs and all the people that are going to win and not win, and then say, oh well, that person abused drugs legally. This person abused drugs didn't even know about it, and someone put it in their food. You know, like,
But
I'm not sitting there picking and choosing who won and how they won. I'm just celebrating the wins at the Olympics. That's it.
I feel like
Unless
there's a
you
big
tell me
difference,
otherwise.
though. A big difference between an inhaler and
No,
proper
but-
like TMZ drugs. Like, come
No,
on, like there's a big
Right.
difference.
First of all, inhalers have a massive range and scope of what they're capable of doing. There's ones that they give out willy-nilly, and then there's ones that are actually steroid inhalers, and there's ones even beyond that. So first of all, but also it's rules. If an inhaler, a steroid inhaler, is banned, and I can't take it to compete at the Olympic trials 6 months ago, if I can't take it, but if I made the British Olympic team and they send me to a doctor who goes, there you go, you actually need this. I'm like, whoa, my whole life I've never been diagnosed with needing any inhaler. Now I've got the third tier of one. And then hear this. I know someone who then went to the doctors for something separate, and they asked him what medication he was taking. He said, yeah, I take this inhaler. And they went, well, why have you got that? And he went, well, I've been recently diagnosed with like severe asthma. And they checked him and went, no, you've got great lungs. You're the best I've ever seen. And you've got the third one. He goes, huh? I never knew. Like,
what about this? What about this, Sonny? What about ADD medicine, where they say it's legal speed?
Ritalin is apparently the one.
Ritalin.
I know people who are asking. I know a British swimmer who just made the Olympic team who's just been recently diagnosed with ADD actually, and he's been getting some medicine. And people like, there's one guy I know who's trained somewhere in the UK, and some athletes come and ask to buy the ADD medicine off him because he gets it, because he needs it. I thought
legal speed. It's speed, right?
Yeah.
Sonny, you could get a start working for SwimSwam.
But I'm not naming names, and I'm not making.
I know someone who knows someone. I'm just saying. I know.
The bottom line is, like, it doesn't matter if it's banned. It doesn't matter if it's freaking the hardest drugs ever that make you look freaking Eddie Hall in stature, or if it's just something that is only just about a banned substance. If it's a banned substance, it's a banned substance. It doesn't matter if it's marijuana. If you can't take it in competition, you can't take it in competition. Whether or not you think it helps or not, it's banned. So it doesn't matter. And if federations, which they are allowing their swimmers to take it, it's just a different systemic doping. It's the same thing. Everyone does it a little differently. Everyone's cheating. The whole thing's stupid. And I'm just going to go back to enjoying seeing a world record, be it from Leon Marchand or Wang Shun or Adam Peaty or Chin Hyang.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see fast swimming, close races, and we're going to get excited, and we're going to be cheering and screaming names and having a good time.
Yeah, I'm with you. Until somebody fails a drug test legally and they say you're out, then I'm, other than that, I'm celebrating every win. Every single win, I'm going to celebrate.
What else can you do? Like you said.
Yeah, you have to.
We're not judge, jury, and executioner. We're just fans.
We've swayed him.
What about Russia? Does it sting you that they can't
let me just
swim?
talk about other stuff. Let's talk about Akman Hasanui. Why is he not going to the Olympics?
Let's finish off with Russia as well.
Russia's politics. I'm not doing politics.
Yeah, politics is.
No, I get it, but it hurt. Does it make you? Does it upset you? You wish Klim could be there. You wish Chikhanova could be there.
I'm not going to make a mistake because I don't know what I've seen. They've done interviews recently. I can't. I'm not opening myself.
Yeah, there's so much. I was in Israel a month ago, and I got so much hate for being in Israel, for doing clinics in Israel. For going there, doing coaches education sessions, working with some of the younger talent in Israel. I got so much hate for that. Like, I'm with Sonny on this. It's like, it's so hard when you get caught up in world politics and world wars. Like, I'm not part of that stuff, but I had a bodyguard following me around the whole time who had a gun on his hip just in case, something happened. So it's like, yeah, it's the world is a messed up place. And I'm not for or against the Russians being there or not being there. It's just there's too much involved in that, and there's a lot of people that are being affected by all that. But man, let's just say the Olympics are happening. They are what they are. The people that are going to be there are going to be there, and we're going to enjoy it. That's what's going to happen. We're going to enjoy it. That's it.
I remember Lance Armstrong always said in his interviews, this is when he was winning everything, he said, I've never tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug. He attacked journalists and said them exact lines, and they were nothing but the truth. He had never at that point tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug. He never said, I don't take performance-enhancing drugs. He just said, I've never tested positive. You know, if you never
Yeah.
tested positive, you're not cheating. You only,
Yeah, what about this, Kurt? You know, like the track and field guys are going to run there and they win a gold medal, they get 50 grand. And swimmers are going to swim there, they get nothing from World Aquatics. So, like, should I be upset that the swimmers are going for free and the track athletes are going for 50 grand? Like, you know, it's not even. It's not a fair system. You know, it's like if the track athletes are getting 50 grand per gold medal, why isn't everybody getting 50 grand per gold medal?
So
Why
the
wasn't it
track
just across the
athletes
board?
get 3 per nation or whatever in the.
yeah. But
And we
swimming
can't-
has like 18 events. That's not fair, is it?
I get it. I get
No.
it. I just see history repeating as well. And obviously the boycott in 80, where that cost so many US swimmers a start there. And then 84, even the Russian boycott in 84 cost Salnikov winning, 1,500 triple after he won in 80 and then he won in 88. So it works both ways, but I just hate not seeing the best swimmers in the world on the biggest stage. What else
What's
do you want to talk about?
Let's do positive things, happy things.
Hafnaoui. Where's Hafnaoui?
That's not I mean, he's not. That's a happy thing.
Poor Hafnaoui.
Where
He has not had a good run. He is like he
No.
got absolutely
He's not.
smashed
Poor
in
fella.
Doha. We watched him. He said hello to me in Doha. He seemed like a nice guy. He was sat outside the venue. His coach was just taking a drag on a cigarette. Hafnaoui was sitting there next to him, just inhaling that secondhand smoke. And he said, "Hey, Sonny." I went, "I had no idea he knew who I was." So I see him as a friend now, and I'm gutted he's not going to be defending his title.
Positives.
Trials.
Trials.
All right. There's plenty of trials going on. Obviously, Brazil's on at the moment. Brazil's got a fun little team. They've got a fun swim team. Are they going to medal? No. Are they going to make a lot of finals? Yes. Kuna's probably their biggest chance in open water. Obviously, defending Tokyo Olympic champ in the 10K. But they've got to. They've got to.
Are they going to medal? No. Brazil, don't bother going. You're not going to medal.
No, they're going to make.
Don't
Like
bother.
they've got some good youngsters. They're going to make some
More
finals.
Yeah, get a bit of experience.
Yeah.
British women wouldn't take them if they're not going to medal. So I'm glad they're not British kids because the British women are like,
Neither is
oh,
Australia.
Got Canadian trials. They're pretty clear cut. And the same to a lesser extent Australian trials probably as well. There's not going to be that many huge upsets, you'd think. But then come US trials, it is on.
you was talking to that 100 freestyle lad the other day, weren't you, Brett? Chris Giuliano. What's he all about?
No, I was talking to his coach, and he's all about swimming fast. This kid's good, mate. He's trained well. He's swimming at Notre Dame, and he's on fire. Doing things apparently in training that Chris, his coach, has never seen before, and doing some exceptional work. So in the lead up to the US trials, I mean, how cool, how interesting is it going to be to see some of these events that stack up at some of these trials where you got top 6 to make the team type of thing, and you got your women's 100 free in Australia, you got your men's 100 free in the US.
I think the 100s and 200s, really, both those relays are going to be pretty epic.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, in terms of top 6, how difficult is it to make that? It's like there's 12 people that could legitimately make the top 6 on any given day, And
Okay. I'll ask you this: US trials, who's got the most pressure on them going into US trials?
Caleb Dressel.
You think?
What do you reckon?
Most
Comments.
pressure.
Who's got the most pressure going into US trials? Who's got all the expectation?
I don't think anyone's that. Oh, Michael Andrew. Then. That's.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. In terms of eyes on Caleb Dressel, there's most eyes on him. In terms of needs to step up and do a decent performance, it's Michael Andrew. Caleb Dressel's shown he's probably going to be all right. Michael Andrew has not shown he's going to probably be all right.
I'm going to say number 1 pressure for US trials outside of Dressel is got to be Big G. No?
Who?
Who's Big G?
Gretchen Walsh.
Big
Surely.
G.
Oh.
She's never made a team in her life. Why has she got
Off the
expectations?
back of what she produced at NC2As, the expectations on her have never been bigger. Sure, she's the Caitlin Clark of swimming.
No, they move on in America. They're talking about long course now, and she's like 54, isn't she?
And
53.
from what Todd has said she can do long course and the expectations that he has and what he's seen in the training, that she can go next level. Gretchen Walsh, surely there's an air of expectation that she's going to step up there in Indy.
Yeah, but what does step up mean? Does step up mean dominate like she did, or just make the team? What are we looking at?
I'm looking at like big swims, big PBs, world-class swims, 100 fly. Yeah, but what can she do? What can she do freestyle? What can she do 50, 100 free?
She'll make the team. She'll make the 100 freestyle in the relay without a doubt. She might make the individual. The women's 100 fly in America at trials is going to be one of the most exciting events. She's really good. She's 56 low. They've got Tori Haas. They've got Claire Curzon, who seems to be doing more backstroke. I reckon in 100 fly she'll get an individual spot. Look, if you make an individual spot on the American Olympic team, you're world class. So Gretchen Walsh will get an individual swim in at least 100 butterfly, which makes her world class, I think.
You think she gets second, or you even
Behind
think
Tori.
she wins?
Tori wins it.
Tori wins.
Second.
Wow. Okay.
Am I missing anyone?
Yeah, a few
Claire?
people, but Claire.
World champ.
Yeah, she's backstroker now.
Oh,
Okay.
backstroker. Okay. All right.
Oh, there you go. Gretchen's strength is underwaters, apparently. So, in case you didn't know, Gretchen's good at underwaters.
Didn't
That's
know
her
that.
strength.
No way.
There you
Short
go.
course.
Get a little bit of inside information on the show today.
That's 30 meters. We got 30 meters. She got another 70 to swim then.
Oof.
It's a long way.
The Walsh sisters, full stop. Like
What
the
is this comment? It's just about how she performs at the Olympics. She's definitely making the Olympics. God, this person doesn't know what the US trials are like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kurt. I just had to bring that.
Oh,
comment
sorry. I
up.
was just going to go on a rant about the Walsh sisters and
Yeah, do it.
the Riz
Yeah,
sisters.
go for it. Yeah, let's
and
get you. Yeah.
these two girls. They're just go getters. They get after it. Like they're good looking. They're launching their sporty collabs. They've just got it. Whatever it is, they've got the X factor. I love it. I just want to see them, I want to see them hit success long course. I know they can do it in yards, short course, in the bathtub.
Isn't one of them like a silver medalist at the Olympics?
Yeah, and yeah, of course. Alex, silver medalist in
of
Tokyo.
course. Of course she
But
was.
she's going to have she's got a tough time as well against her own training partners in Douglas. Like, what is going on there in Virginia? Like, that is obviously Boxall's St. Peter's crew is hectic, and like Todd's crew as well is just that every day must be just insane, the sessions there.
Yeah, they're training to go fast. That's what they're doing. They train to go fast. They swim fast every day. Talk to any one of them and they say we go fast every day. Isn't that it's not a secret, They don't even try and hide it. They say we go fast every day. And
The expectation. I think it's going to be on everyone, though. Expectation is on everyone because everyone wants to make the team, right? And I feel like trials is the hardest part or the biggest step, and then the Olympics, obviously. But I feel like the expectation is on every single person. And it top two, or whether you're a relay, but expectation is on everyone. Otherwise, if you didn't have an expectation on yourself, you wouldn't go to trials.
how come it looks like you've been kidnapped and put into a box, a cave, and someone just gave you a microphone to communicate?
Because I have to actually, I could show you around, but I feel like this is the best spot, but there's nothing behind me. So I'm going to get like a cute little, I don't know. I should put like my Olympic flag up or something. It's
Yes.
Olympic year. So I feel like Olympic flag might be coming, guys. Something will be back here.
What's that?
Could
What's
be-
that?
could be
What's
in
that
the
show?
It's okay.
Zero Dark 30 or something. Where they take the prisoner in and put him in a room and then just like you interrogate them. That's what it looks like you're in right now.
Yeah, no, it looks like you're in what's that, Fallout? You look like you're in a bunker in Fallout. That's what it look. And we can talk about the Fallout bunker in a minute with the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra. But I want to also have a spiel on Reagan Smith, and this is one. I'm going to say this is my favorite showdown of Paris, and it is one-on-one.
killer.
It's Reagan up against Kaylee. And the world population is 8 billion. So just under half of those are women. So what, 3.9 billion women. Of those 3.9 billion women, only 2 can win the 100 and 200 backstroke in Paris. No one else. And the 100, Regan was the world record holder. She was the world champion. Now Kaylee's the world record holder, the world champion, and the Olympic champion, and the exact same thing in the 200. Reagan had it. Now Kaylee's got it. When it comes down to that final lap, it's going to only be between those two. And either of them on the day can win it. And so I'm super pumped up to see that one-on-one. I don't think we've seen this in swimming for a long time, where it's a heavyweight title fight in the 100 and 200 between only two people. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. And I think that's something extremely exciting, and I'm pumped up about. And I think, and I know Regan can win. She can beat Kaylee. She can win the 1 and the 2. And you want to know how she can win? You want to know, Sonny, how she can win it?
How? Tell us. Come on.
She just has to swim faster than she's ever swum before. That's how you go. Just swim faster. You're going to have to go with 2:02, and you're going to have to go maybe sub 57 or 57 low, and you can win it. And and all the reports. Do we know where Regan's at the moment? Is she?
Yeah. I heard she was in Texas, but I heard they're doing a lot of training in Colorado Springs.
Okay. So she's getting it. Yeah, she's getting it done. And from all reports, she trains the house down. And if she can replicate what she can do in those training sessions and put the nerves to one side, then it is going to be one of the battles of all time. It's going to be epic. There's no one else. You remember in Return of the Jedi? Wow. All the Star Wars fans out there, we're going deep. We're going deep. But Luke comes to Dagobah for the last time. He sees Yoda, and Yoda comes to him and just says, Luke thinks he's a Jedi now. And Yoda's like, no, you're not a Jedi yet. One thing's left. Vader. You've got to confront Vader. And for Regan, her Vader is Kaylee. You want to be a champion, you've got to confront Kaylee. You've got to take her, and you've got to beat her. She knows it. We know it. Everybody knows it. Confront her, and she will. And it's going to come down to on the day, and I can't wait. For mine, that's the women's 100, 200 backstroke. It's going to be two of the best races there in Paris.
Wow. That was an interesting picture you just painted for all of us there. I like it. I like it a lot.
You didn't listen to me, AG. I didn't say anyone needs an inhaler. I just said people are getting inhalers that don't need an inhaler.
Maybe she needs some ADD.
I'm just telling you what is happening. Don't misconstrue my words. I didn't say anyone needs an inhaler. In fact, they probably don't, but they're getting one anyway. Listen to me, AG.
Yeah, get some Ritalin.
Ritalin.
What about this one here? Jack Alexi.
No, he's not good at underwaters.
Yeah, he's not like...
Not like... Is that why he's really bloody good in long course? Because he's good at swimming.
He's good at swimming.
I'm just trying to work this sport out.
Yeah, is Alexi like the polar opposite of Gretchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's pretty good in yards and really damn good in long course. I mean, can we be honest? The guy went 129, 200-yard freestyle. He can't be that bad at anything, can he?
It's because he's like 7 foot tall.
What does that mean?
He's a big dude.
Long levers.
He's got swim speed, serious swim speed.
Oh, Pitt Parker's calling him out. Finished 4th at NCAAs, and that meets harder than the Olympics. So,
mate, we're going live. You and I at the US Olympic trials. We're doing a live show.
So excited!
You and I we got a pass to say we're media credentialed.
What does it even mean? The pass said nothing. He didn't tell us what it means. Can we go and watch the meet? Where do we go?
Where do we go?
I think what you do is what I'd like to see you guys do is I'd love to see a post show every night from Pool Deck. That'd be awesome.
Pool Deck, yeah, for
Pool Deck,
sure.
give us a wrap because as soon as the competition is done, then you've got a free for all. You've got a free for all on Pool Deck.
We do that
Yeah, we
once
did
before,
that. We
Brett.
did that at a place. I think they held the World Championships. We tried doing something like that at the World
Looked
Championships.
really good.
Well,
Yeah,
and
it
this
was
is where
good.
Can't
US
find it
swimming
anymore.
is
It's
more.
no
This is
longer
where
on
US
YouTube.
swimming is more advanced, and this is where they're light years ahead of World Aquatics in giving you guys access to the pool deck, putting the influencers and the real media. You know, you're going to be right next to Socko. You can have swam there as well. It's going to be a party time on pool deck, and to get swimmers at the end of their meet when they've qualified and have a little post show there. It's fantastic. Can't
What
wait.
about the real journalists? Well, they're going to have a separate little pen for the real journalists, like your dad and people like that. They're going to be over here, and then just the
Who are the real
influencers.
journalists? Who watches
influencers.
who watches news? Who watches real news anymore? And this is the importance of guys like yourself and Sonny and Socko as well. This is the future of swimming media, and you've got to take care of you guys because this is where the eyeballs are at. Hence the little silver plate in
We'll be
Sonny's
there.
background.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a wrap up of after every night for sure.
Well, let's just see what we get.
I'll show you. I actually made something for the US trials. I'll show you. Hang on.
Oh, we like.
Oh, it's going to be his caps.
Prezzies.
I'm hoping it's his caps. It's not the training paddles.
They're
He's
not
gone.
squared paddle. He's
What do you
going to
reckon,
get
Kurt?
an inhaler.
David
What else,
Curtis
what?
going to qualify for the Olympics? What do you reckon?
Don't know.
No.
Actually made something for the US trials. Let's get a close up of this. Check this out. Oh, look at that, eh? Oh, yeah.
That's real nice.
Just happened to make the fastest cap in the world for the US trials. Look at that. Oh, we'll get it out there. Yeah.
It's real nice. You see the
Doesn't
logo
have
on the
any. Oh, it has a little sponsor on there. Look at that. Look at that sponsor. Who's that? Oh, wow. Look at that little company, hey? Okay.
Sprint Revolution.
Yeah, we'll get that out there. That'll be at the trials.
Are we got like a little stand for merch at the trials? What's the rules here?
Oh,
No.
that's a
Yeah.
good idea,
I'm
actually.
gonna get my dad. We'll get my dad out the front as like a tout, and he'll like like the unofficial merch at the front. So he'll be selling shirts, caps, signatures, and stuff. We'll get him out the front.
You got to be across the road. You can't be
Yeah.
on the side of where the pool is. You got to be across the road.
You guys
Get
are
him.
smart. Just
He'll
get
do that.
just put the codes. Get it all online. Get it all online.
Yeah, we'll get it up there. You know, you
Yeah,
want a
look
cap?
at
It's going to be across the road at the US trials. Get one of these across the road.
My dad's similar to Brett, bold but not Brett. Less Australian, less jacked, but also bold. And he'll be selling all sorts of merch. So look out for my dad at the US trials.
You
He's
really
gonna
want
get
that. You really value those US swimming accreditations, don't you guys? You value them.
Across the road, I said. I didn't say in the venue.
Other news. Well, Megs, the Australian Institute of Sport, 250 million to upgrade this facility in
ridiculous.
Canberra. And for
Come
those
on.
in the
They're doing it?
US who've never been to Australia, this is the equivalent of the mess that Australia had in the 70s at the Olympics. They created the Australian Institute of Sport down in the nation's capital in Canberra. Canberra is an invented city. It was nothing. They just built it out of nowhere. This is the equivalent of putting a high-performance center in Washington, D.C., when you could have one now in Brisbane or in southern Queensland, which is the equivalent of San Diego. Why would they still flog this dead horse down in Canberra in a city that no one wants to be in, that's cold as hell in winter, it's boring as hell all the time? It's a bureaucratic city. Not even the outside of the government. No one else is based there in Canberra anymore either. Why are they doing this?
Good question. Why? I was reading the article, and it was a lot more about the outdoor sports. So bringing them so they can have facilities inside. So obviously weather dependent. Didn't see too much about swimming, which obviously I still don't know why you spend $245 million on something that I don't think the best athletes in Australia are there. So good question. Why? Why? I feel like it's a lot of money that you could put towards 2032 Brisbane facilities, especially building into 2032. Like $245 million can go a long way into building into Brisbane or somewhere that's going to probably produce a lot more either high performance athletes or hopefully Olympians in 10 years time. It's ridiculous.
Interesting. Listen, I got to wrap this up. I got to go. Got to run. I've enjoyed
Cool.
this though.
Good chat.
We should
I've
start
enjoyed
doing
it.
this more regular again. So maybe we'll do this more regular again.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week. Next
Same
week. Well,
spot.
so you said Canada start. Well, you got Brazil on right now. Canada start next week. Then we go into Aussie. Then we go into US.
Yeah, we've got Euro,
Yeah.
and I'll be on full
France.
deck at
France.
Oh yeah, France.
Yeah.
Blows
Yeah, we
off the
should do some-
cigarettes. He's swimming
We'll
fast.
do one after every trials, I reckon. Why not?
Well, we'll just do them during.
Yeah.
And I'll
That'd
be,
be fun.
I'll be on pool deck at Euros in Belgrade as well.
That'll be good,
I'll be in
mate.
Italy, so
All right.
drinking Aperols.
Cheers, guys.
Later, friends.
Cheers.
Been fun.
Bye.
Bye.